All right.
Right.
Go on.
Well, okay. Okay, so yeah.
This inn was passed down through the Raffle family and was mentioned in the Stockport Advertiser on December the 12th, 1822, as a venue for an inquest after a violent storm broke out over the town on December the 5th, 1822. At around midnight, a family was awoken by the storm as a chimney stack from a neighbouring house on Millgate crashed through their roof, burying the family under tons of rubble. Out of a family of 6, only 4 survived. Tragically, the mother and her 2-year-old child were killed, leaving behind her husband and 3 other children. The Arden Arms holds other secrets, however. Strange and unusual occurrences have been reported over the years, and the cellars have had another use, other than for storing ale, as we're about to find out. What I'd like to do now is just split the group into 2 halves, so I need the first 15 in the famous cellars of the Arden Arms Hotel. And as I said before, these cellars had a very different purpose at one time. First thing I'll show you, you'll get a chance to see this. Just to my right, there's a little tiny step in this 12 room. That once used to lead to a tunnel through the wall up to St Mary's churchyard. Now, why would a pub have a cellar? Why would a pub cellar have a tunnel leading to it? Well, that's because there used to be burial slabs. This used to be used as a mortuary for the dead before they were taken to be buried. And if you kindly step this way, we might actually have a few bodies left here. Oh, yeah. These are the original burial slabs.
Oh, horrible.
That's the original
There's feet over there. That's just what you do see.
Just make sure.
There's feet on. Did you see that? Don't tickle it, you know. Somebody's feet.
But just be careful of it.
And what unspeakable practice is
It's not a landlord having a kip, is it? Sure.
It's stiff, aren't they now?
Yeah, it's starting to smell a little bit in there. Oh my goodness. That's what we're looking at. If anyone's got a camera wants to take photos before we get back up, we will. You can have a little drink in here. So we can tell them of the towns that we never put there. But the other interesting thing about down in the cellars is a lot of the bar staff have reported various strange things happening, such as the gas tanks that feed the pumps upstairs being switched off when no one's down here and switched back on again, and they actually are very, very difficult to do.
Spiky edge in the middle. It's not with our group.
What am I looking at?
Step to go up. We don't actually know whether that's bricked up so far back, or whether it's just like one layer of brick and if you took it out and tunnel.
The
original tunnels, I should imagine, are still there.
Yeah.
All the way up to St Mary's Church.
From the there it is. Sea clouds.
Yeah, they used to
Yeah.
brew the beer there, and you've got they've all been sealed as well, aren't they? All the numbers from there.
Body length, like gold chain.
We can't last time we came, we stood talking to Nick, it was sorting out all the gates in the dining, you see. I left my cap outside, didn't walk out. Wasn't expecting to get it back, actually. Hi, you made it down!
We're going here then.
Jump in, not jump. Just so I can get some pictures, I think. Right, what? Surely there's got to be more than 4 of you.
No, sorry. We're not coming in, are we?
No steps, is there?
What's in it?
It's a bit shady. I don't know, but
Don't know yet.
dark.
Hang on, there should be the lights on something.
Could have brought you in camera.
The lights.
Now, you may be wondering why I've dragged you down into a stranger with cellar. It's not because it's dark and damp and it's sort of my place to hang out. It is for another reason. Once upon a time, these cellars had a tunnel leading from just behind us, through the wall and up to St Mary's Church. Why would you have a tunnel leading to a pub? It's because they used to store bodies down here. And the burial slabs still remain, along with some sleeping residents.
Oh, that's all live then.
So I'm told.
You have just told me you've seen the feet moving.
I've heard the ticklish, but I touch back on. Just behind you in this far corner, on the floor is a little step. That's the original step leading to the tunnels, which are now bricked up. We don't know how far they stretch. And if you look this way, we have our residents. Don't talk too loud, you might wake them up.
Who wants his?
Hang on, I'm attached. I'm attached to the torch.
Just sit here.
If everyone wants to have a look, it is just a quick. Of Millgate is known as a very melancholy place. It is believed to be the place where a young flower girl was last seen on this earth. Every day she walked through the passageway selling her posies for a penny or two to take home to her family. Day in, day out, rain or shine, she would always be there. One winter's evening, though, she failed to return home at her usual time. And as the hours passed by, her parents became increasingly worried. They informed the police. Reports then came in of a man who had heard a scream, a call for help from the passageway. But he didn't stop, for fear of being robbed. The girl's father, his friends and police searched all night for her, but no sign of a body could ever be found. She was presumed dead, but the case to this day remains unsolved. And of course many people over the years have reported strange things as they pass by here. The intense smell of flowers, an overwhelming sense of sadness. Screams have also been heard, terrified, ringing out through the darkness. This be an echo of the past. Did she run away for a better life? I will leave you to call your own. I have no Staircase House, the oldest residential property on Marketplace at over 500 years old and owned by Mayor William Dodge in 1483. Staircase House contains a beautiful and a very intricately carved Jacobean staircase. Very rare, it is one of only 3 of similar quality in existence in the United Kingdom. It was commissioned by the Shawcross, or possibly Shawcross family, who resided here between 1605 and 1730. And of course now it gives this building its name. In 1745 it also became the temporary home to Lord Elcho, commander to Bonnie Prince Charlie's lifeguards, as they were beating their retreat back to Scotland. In 1955, redecorating work was being carried out to the cafe, and an extension to the staircase was found, leading to several wooden panelled rooms on an upper floor, left undisturbed for many a year. This discovery and its disturbance sparked off activity of a ghostly nature, of course. Sounds were heard such as heavy footsteps and dragging of furniture, emanating from the rooms overhead. When checked, the rooms were left untouched. The ghost of an Edwardian gentleman has also been seen, sometimes standing on the stairs, patiently waiting for someone or something. He is described as youthful in appearance, he wears a winged collar, and bears an uncanny resemblance to another ghostly man, who is seen leaving this building late at night, gliding along the pavement towards St Mary's Church. The story is told of a agility lover standing alone in the churchyard, waiting patiently for his light, never arrived at. Can everyone hear me? I need to look close enough to hear. Bernard Street was built in the 1800s and known then as Castle Ground. Locally, it was referred to as Pig Market Ground, a name that came from the site of Pig Market, in turn, this could have named Moore's Head. In 1860, on the second anniversary of the opening of Moore's Head, tragedy struck. 3,000 people were huddled together in the marketplace, not like us, watching the first part of a fireworks and balloon descent display. Sorry, can't promise that tonight. The crowd surged towards Hillgate to watch the grand finale, crushing to death 6 people who died on Mealhouse Brow, and causing the hospitalisation of a 7th victim, a girl named Letitia Wilson. Letitia D? That's what she was thinking of. Letitia was a 15-year-old girl who died 1 week later in the hospital. Excuse me. Parting the waves. Oh, lovely. I've got you all well trained here. Of course, you now stand in Marketplace. In turn, Marketplace stands on a 240-million-year-old red sandstone cliff overlooking a once important ford on the River Mersey. It was also the meeting place of several Roman roads, and of course several Roman artefacts have been found here. The beginnings of Stockport can be traced back to Saxon villagers. The name Stockport itself comes from the Saxon word stock, S-T-O-C, meaning a stockade or castle. And port is the Saxon word for a wood. So Stockport literally translates as the castle in the wood. And until it was demolished in 1775, a castle once stood on this site. Around the middle of the 13th century, Norman times, the second Sir Robert de Stockport obtained a charter of freedom for the town, and the third Sir Robert de Stockport obtained a grant for a weekly market and a yearly fair. I forgot why we're going that way. Life in 16th century Stockport was pretty hard. The situation here was no exception to the rest of the country. Many young lads down on their luck turned to a life of crime in the hope that it would lead them out of the gutter. Pickpockets, and cutthroats were commonplace in the back streets and alleyways of the town, and even within the walls of St Mary's. On a dark, still night, just move in a bit, please.
Down there, Trish is
Late with no traffic. On an even darker and stiller night with no traffic,
You going down there? You go down there?
two brothers.
there in that corner, that black corner.
Oh yeah.
His older brother, fearing his siblings would break down with his decided to report to the authorities. The young brother was immediately arrested, tried, and hanged as he sold their moderator. He never knew of his older brother's betrayal and kept his involvement quiet. It was now the elder brother's turn to feel guilty. He would pace the room at their lodging, day in, day out, night and day. And over the next few years, he neglected his health and brought himself to an early grave also. His spirit still wanders the ancient ruins of the city. And one day, when all this building work's finished, the new residents may find they have a rather unwanted It could even be that this site was actually used for church as far back as the 12th century. The burial grounds contain some very interesting gravestones. John Wainwright, Jonathan Thatcher and Martha Gardavaglia, wife of the Italian who played a large part in the introduction of silk spinning to Stockport. Of course, the most famous legend at this church is that of a legless cavalier.
Is it? Close.
Somebody there. To wake up the dead, as you can plainly see. And there was spelled with a
What would you like to know, Spirit? It's my friend. I think there might be one over at the back.
You're making out the crowd. You're not.
Julia.
Oh, that's why they want to Julia, come forward. Where's your from?
Pretty lady.
All of these good people long enough, Kathleen. Slide in your leg. Now the story goes that this old cavalier that we've just met is often seen wandering around, or should I say limping around this graveyard, searching for his lost life.
This is lovely. Like this is
Wow, wait.
Don't even think about it.
Blonde. No way.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Come up. Come to nearest window. No, that one.
Yeah.
Look across at the wall. Picture on the wall.
Got back of my head on camera.
That's the interesting bit. That was found in the cellar's facing against
It's the person, one of the people that are in it, one of the main people in the picture has died, because it used to be that you turn the picture to the wall of the people that
Working out, I'm smile.
No, he's not got glass in it, has it?
Oh.
No. But you don't end up.
If everyone wants to grab a seat up here, more than welcome. We're going to be up here for about 20 minutes. I'll move out of the way.
Actually come up.
Mike's still downstairs. Picture. 1, the time on the clock. 2, the fact that a lady... Once upon a time, this pub was known as Queen Anne and was visited by Charlie Chaplin and Charles Dickens, amongst others. Queen's Head is now one of the oldest pubs that still stands in Stockport. It is also the holder of a very special title, home of the smallest toilet in Europe. Not only the smallest of smallest rooms, its men's lavatory was built at the base of the hangman's drop, a rather fitting end to where the bodies of poor unfortunates could be dropped from the gallows that once stood above. Queen's Head is also very proud of its ghost, and it's one of the only pubs in Stockport that actually advertises its haunted room. Upstairs, on the first floor, is a small, once windowless room where a cavalier was captured by the Roundheads, tortured horribly, and left to starve to death. His ghost now roams the building each night, walking up the stone stairs, pacing the floor of his prison cell, and the last place he remembered on this earth. One time, a reporter stayed alone overnight in the haunted room in an attempt to prove or disprove the ghostly things. It was 11:30 at night, the pub was all quiet, the landlord had retired for the night, when suddenly a terrified scream rang out from the world.
Yeah, this is so good.
Several customers have witnessed this, but if they give chase, the spirit vanishes. Naturally, so seen the hall, which they now know is where the original was. Banging sounds have been heard coming from the function room on the second floor, when this area has been empty. And one member of staff has even reported being locked in an upstairs toilet by an unseen force when she was alone in the building. A young girl of 14 or 15 years of age is said to have fallen to her death from one of these upstairs windows. Her ghost has been seen in all areas of the building and is known as the White Lady. Cutlery moves around and items in the storeroom are pulled from the shelves. Could this be the claim of the spirit of the child making a presence there? Perhaps. The original building itself dates from the 15th century and is the oldest hostelry in Cheshire. In the 1700s, it was one floor, with a second story added later. In 1832, it was refronted, and in 1904, rebuilt as what we see today. Public coaches also called here to collect passengers and mail for the 22-hour journey to London. We rode a British Rail. Oh well. in old houses, ruined castles, or other equally spooky buildings. But this is not always the case. There have been numerous reports over time of spirits attaching themselves to vehicles. One such story is of a double-decker bus right here in Stockport. The bus came into service in 1952 and continued its public duty until 1969. Once retired, it was purchased by a group of transport enthusiasts who took it upon themselves to return the somewhat shabby old vehicle to its former glory. The bus was housed in an old Manchester warehouse while the refurb took place. It was during this time one member of the group was working on the upper floor to the front of the vehicle when he was tapped playfully on the shoulder. As he turned, expecting to see one of his fellow workers, he saw a small boy. He saw a small boy on the otherwise deserted bus. Oh dearie me. He saw a small boy out of the corner of his eye on the otherwise deserted bus. But before he had time to speak, the boy had vanished. The small figure was described. He was wearing a sleeveless pullover and short trousers, like those of the 1950s style. More sightings of the boy were to follow, and the intrigued team decided it was time to do a little research into the history of the bus. They found that whilst the bus had been in service, many of its drivers and other bus crew had been reluctant to work on it, believing it to be haunted. Further investigations revealed that the bus had been involved in an accident during the mid-50s when a young boy had been knocked down and killed. Perhaps the boy that now lives in the bus. An artist from Scotland was commissioned to draw the vehicle from a photograph of the sexton. Although he had never physically seen the bus nor heard any of the stories about it, he found himself compelled to include the face of the young boy. But maybe I should use those words. Just a few words to say about our final venue in Queens. Firstly, it's a big plug for ClubZero. We hold our monthly meetings here, and we will be doing till the end of the year. We meet first Thursday of every month. And if you'd like to join the club, you can do. We can do it online, or you can come along to a meeting and hear some more tales and get to know what we actually do. The address is www.clubzero.co.uk. You all got that? www.clubzero.co.uk. What was it? I expect to see you on the website. Also on the website you will find a couple of very interesting pictures that were taken within these very walls. Now the Queen's Club itself cellar holds passageways that actually run under the streets of Stockport. Obviously a lot of them have been blocked up, but they've been traced back, and they do sort of, it's quite a labyrinth of passageways that run into this town. The other thing is the pictures on our website are of a couple of faces. One that was seen, an apparition that we saw in the bar, was taken on a picture in the bar, and a face in the wall, which could be quite interesting. They are definitely worth a look, so if you like the story, please go to the website. If you don't want to join, go to the website anyway and sign up, guest book. And I will leave you to that. Thank you all so much for joining.